Hello, I'm David Gray, and fair warning, the video you're about to see is a rerun. As I sit here on this beautiful spring day in central Indiana in my coronavirus bunker here, I figured it was probably the best of times to take on a project I've been meaning to do for years, and that is going back and re-editing and republishing some of my very earliest videos, the ones that you've probably never even discovered unless you've been patient enough to scroll through pages of videos to the very bottom of my channel. All of my backpacking videos, including those going back to the earliest days, were shot in full 1080 HD, but limitations on YouTube at the time, or limitations on my channel, or maybe just limitations on my knowledge in general, prevented me from uploading them in their full high-resolution glory, and instead they were uploaded in very low quality, very low resolution, and that has always bothered me. I've taken great pride over the years of anything that I put up on YouTube was the best possible quality that I could make it, and for those early videos that just simply was not the case. In addition, the camera that I used to capture all of those early videos, the Panasonic HDC SD9, a camera that I bought in 2006, and this very camera right here, it was pretty remarkable for what it could do for being a 2004 design, but one thing it didn't do very well was optical image stabilization. Also, even though my editing skills are probably still far from perfect, they're a lot better than they were back in the early days. So what I've decided to do is go back and re-edit and republish a number of my earliest videos. The plan would be to go back and recreate the videos in their full 1080 HD format, and then apply some offboard image stabilization software to stabilize the video as much as I possibly can, then go in and optimize the audio, and then basically start the editing process from scratch to take advantage of the editing skills that I've acquired over the last 10 years. Having decided to take that project on, then the question became, where should I start? Which video should I start with? Well, it seemed appropriate to start back at the very beginning. So with that, let's take a look at my very first ever backpacking trip. August 2010, the Peninsula Trail in the Charles Dean Wilderness in southern Indiana.
We are on our way down to the Peninsula Trail on Lake Monroe for what will hopefully be our first overnight backpacking trip. We got about an hour to go. Jaden is unbelievably excited about the opportunity to hike today. It's about a 10-mile out and back trip to what will hopefully be a nice campground out on the shore of Lake Monroe. It is absolutely spectacular weather. About 85 degrees, but almost no humidity. What they say about this campground and this trail is the highlight of it is basically the peninsula, the point on Lake Monroe, and watching the sunsets. On the Tower Ridge Road, we have to go 5.5 miles down here to get to the parking lot, where we get to go walk 5 miles basically back into that stuff.
Can you say Blair Witch Project?
Well, we made it to the parking lot. There's the pack. There's the car covered with dirt. Right there's the beginning of the trail. When we got here, there were a ton of people getting loaded up. Looks like we're gonna have some company. We're basically ready to go. Jaden's ready, so we'll head out. Well, we've reached one of the this is one of the camping areas along the way. That's a designated campsite. Here's what we're hiking in. Top of a ridge. I don't know if you can see it, but that's really steep down there. Better idea of what we're walking in, probably. Really pretty in here. I have no idea how far we've gone. Probably not nearly as far as we think we have. The trail's kind of over that way. I think right along there. Jaden's starting to get run out of gas a little bit. No water. We're on a ridge top here. Bone dry. Gonna have to stop and get him some water, I think, pretty soon. This is pretty cool. It's a lot darker. The camera makes it look a lot lighter than it is. Jaden is very thirsty. That bottle, that's a 1 liter bottle. It was full about 2 seconds ago, and I didn't drink any of it.
Oh, does it feel better?
Looks like we've reached the end of the trail. It looks like it's gonna be beautiful. I think Jaden's pretty much had enough. He's pretty thirsty, pretty tired. I think we'll go down to the lake and let him have a little bit of a drink and rest in the water, maybe. He's figured it out. It's beautiful here. It's gonna be a nice sunset too. Look at this. So better find a
place to camp. I think this is going to be our campsite for the night. Trail is about maybe 100 yards over that way, and there is in fact a formal campsite, just one that I could find. It had a picnic table and looked like somebody had set up for the summer. So I walked down the shore a little ways and found this, which has a fire pit, and not bad. We made it. A little tired, boy. When I took that pack off, I felt like I was bouncing. The camp is set up. There's the tent, backpack. I'm sitting in front of the little fire thing. I'll probably start a fire here in a little bit so I don't have to do it later. There's my little camp rest. Unbelievably comfortable. Tired dog. Very nice tent. It is unbelievably still here. Just listen. Every once in a while you hear a fish jumping out there and maybe a little wave breaking on the shore, but not much. I mean, it's unbelievably quiet here. There's no boats out here. I don't think they're allowed on this side of the lake. Way in the distance there, you probably can't even see it, but that's the bridge or the causeway over the lake that you come across. And then you go like 5 miles in this, or 5 more miles in this direction, and then 5 miles down that dirt road this way. And then you walk 5 miles back this way. There's my beverages for the evening. Have a little sip of wine here, and I've got some freeze-dried cheese spread that's supposed to be very good. Brought some crackers. I'll probably make some of that and maybe give a cracker or two to Jaden. Just getting settled in. Very nice here. Well, this is my beverage, my adult beverage. Titanium mug. Well, there's my cheese spread, rehydrating. They say to let it sit for 10 minutes, which I'm doing. My bar, my kitchen, my bedroom, my fireplace. Pretty much have everything. Could be worse, huh? I can't wait till the sunset. It's going to be beautiful. The wild thing about being out here like this, there's nothing to do. And so you feel like you're in a rush to do something, like we are every night. You're out here and you realize there's no rush to do anything. You know, until the sun goes down, when I have to probably crawl in there and go to sleep. It forces you to slow down because, you know, you realize it's like, what's the rush? So you just sit here and listen. I mean, I don't know if you can hear everything in the background, but there is no noise at all of people, and just a little bit of noise of birds and insects. Not even the sound of any wind. Look at the leaves. They're completely still. And this is about the quietest place. I'll light a fire here in a little bit, but I'm just gonna sit here tonight. And I've got my little wine that I'm doing, and here's my kitchen. This is my cheese spread that I'm eating. It is absolutely incredible. That was freeze-dried, so it hardly weighed anything. You mixed a little mayonnaise in it and some water, and you squished it all up. It's some of the best cheese spread I think I've ever had. I'm doing it on Ritz crackers with a little wine. There's my cell phone and my GPS, and the beautiful part about the GPS, this is completely worthless right now because I forgot to load the base map, the topographical map for Indiana. So when I went to use it, there was no map at all. I mean, it gives me a general direction. Fortunately, I did a mark of the car. Oh, and here's my notebook. You know, so what I do is I'll write notes. That'll be note number 1, by the way. Load base map in a GPS receiver before you go on a trip, you idiot. You know, in general, it just kind of forces you to kind of take a deep breath, and it's probably good to do this every once in a while. God, I would love to do this out in Colorado. Can you imagine just sitting in a place like this with the mountains, and you've carried everything in that you need to survive? You know, water, shelter, food, dog. Being able to look out, I can almost picture the mountains or whatever in the background. Alright, I'm going to attempt to do this. I don't know if it'll work real well, but I don't know if you can see on there, but there's my cheese spread. Here's my crackers, so I'm going to try to show you what I'm doing here with one hand. Whoops, switch that one. Let's get an intact one. There's my Ritz cracker. Here's my titanium spork, which you can barely feel. It is so light. Here's what it looks like. That was all just dried stuff before. That is incredibly good. He mixed like a little packet of mayonnaise with it, and it's got like garlic, dried tomato and everything in it. And when you rehydrate it, it's like the best cheese spread I've ever had. This is in the category of don't say I never share. What do you think, puppy? Jaden, do you like that? Jaden likes it a lot. There might be one cracker worth left. I'm trying to figure out whether Jaden should have it or I should have it. Jaden, me or you, buddy? You want the cracker? I'm gonna give it to Jaden. I need to show you two things here. Number one, I started this fire and I have not struck a match. Basically an emergency fire starter. So I have not struck a lighter or a match, and I have fire. So we now have a very nice fire, and this will be the view tonight with the sunset. Jaden did get that last cracker, by the way, but I'm getting ready to make dinner here too. But very nice setting. I feel like Survivor, man. I've been off in these woods gathering all kinds of wood so the fire doesn't go out. I'm going to show you what the fire is doing here. I've got a real fire going now. I may be a little short on water here, and I don't really want to filter it out of that lake. I guess I could if I had to. Look at this. Company. That's the other people that I passed. They must have gone way down there. This gives you an idea of what the shoreline is like here. Not your basic sandy beach. There's the camp. This is where the fire is and where I'm cooking. Here's the tent. You can see the leaves are starting to show a little hint of color. I think everything's pretty much settled down. All I need to do is make dinner and eat and probably write some stuff in the little journal book. I didn't really bring much reading material because all the books I'm reading weighed a lot. So I brought a little tiny book pamphlet on predicting weather, which even sounds boring to me right now. You just sit by the fire and just watch the sun go down and crawl into bed and get up as soon as it's light and head back. Call it a trip. Call it a first overnight backpacking trip. Just filtered some water out of the lake, but this is really the impressive part. Just a beautiful sunrise or sunset. Look at that. That's the stew. Very tasty, actually, with polenta, which is what that is. I just filtered out of the lake, first time ever, 2 liters of water, drank a whole bunch of it, and it tasted absolutely perfect. I was a little wigged out by the whole thing, but the way the filter works, I mean, it draws it all in, filters it through what they call a micron filter. Not only is it perfectly safe, but it probably tastes better than the water that I brought with me. So we got to the point where we were down to about 1 liter of water because Jaden's just drinking like crazy. I need some for breakfast. We're going to need some for the hike back. So I finally broke out the water filter for the first time. Never used it before. Walked out in the lake quite a ways so we'd get away from the shore. Just perfectly clear, perfect water. Jaden's ready for bed. Just some color left in the sky. I'm just sitting here on my rock, listening to the birds. Every once in a while you have a big, huge fish jump in the lake. Jaden is seriously ready for bed. Probably go to bed here in not too long when it gets dark. The Blair Witch thing. I'm so scared. Jaden. We're not really all that scared. It's actually pretty nice right now. Jaden was a little wigged out to get in the tent. It's a little smaller than we're used to. He's right up next to me and very comfortable right now. It's morning. This is my Tex-Mex burrito from Packet Gourmet. It smells incredible. It's got potatoes and cheese and everything in it. Pretty good night's sleeping. My back's a little sore. Should be fun carrying the pack, but the pack's going to be a whole lot lighter than it was. We're going to have a little breakfast and get going. Filtered another couple liters of water out of the lake because we were dry again. And I've got my Starbucks coffee there, so I can smell. I gotta get going. Jaden trying to get the last little bit of Tex-Mex taco, burrito, or skillet omelet stuff out of the bowl. To say that he enjoyed it is probably a little bit of an understatement. He's been doing this. That bowl used to be to the right of the other bowl there. I have to say that was probably one of the better breakfasts I've had in an incredibly long time, and I think based on Jaden getting ready to rip the inside of this styrofoam bowl out, he probably feels the same way. It's getting lighter. Beautiful morning. I've just got to get everything packed up and start heading out. We'll be out of here probably in another half an hour. Pack's a lot lighter going this way.